Hello and welcome to an instructional video about Loom, a free screencasting software. Loom allows you to record both your computer screen and yourself through a webcam to help you deliver instructional material to your students or other audience. Before we get started, I want to mention that Loom has recently upgraded their Pro account. They've released that for free during the COVID-19 crisis, but they have also noted that the changes that they've made to the Pro account to make it free are permanent. These changes will not go away once the crisis is ended, which is why I think this is a pretty good option to start using now. If you're going to invest some time to learn how to use this product, then at least you know with some certainty that you're not going to lose access here once all of this is over. To get started with Loom, up here in the top right hand corner where all of your extensions are, you're going to see this one here, this sort of rose petal looking spiral icon here. You probably won't have the #1 icon here for the notifications that I've got. But all you have to do is you'll click on this, and you notice if I hover over it with my mouse, it does say Loom for Chrome. But I'll click on that, and that will open up the sign-in screen. If this is your first time, you'll click sign up, and you use sign in with Google. It will likely ask you to allow certain permissions, and it will take you through the full sign-up step. You just want to make sure that you complete that, and again, it's very important that you use your @Baldwin email account. If you've already created an account, you can click sign in, and again, sign in with Google here. Once you've created your account, if you go to loom.com and sign in, it'll take you to your main dashboard page where you'll be able to see any videos that you record in the future. You have your new video button here. You can create folders to organize your videos, and then you've got one that Loom has already made for you, this how to use Loom. If you click here, there's tons of resourceful videos that are already here for you, ready to go, that help explain how you can use Loom to help out making these instructional videos, especially while we're in this distance learning period. This is a really great set of resources for those of you who are new to this kind of instruction. When you're ready to begin recording with Loom, you want to travel to your extension tray up here in the top right hand corner and click on the Loom icon, and that's going to load in the recording menu here. You see two tabs immediately at the top, Record and Notifications. Quickly to talk about notifications here, you will get updates and information about when people have watched your video if you select those titles, or it will let you know when your video that you've recorded is ready to be shared. If I go back to the Record tab, I'm going to see my main 3 recording tools. I can do one that is screen and cam, which includes my webcam. It's down here in the left-hand corner, as well as any of the content that I'm looking at on my computer screen. It's going to record everything. If I click screen only, it's going to remove my webcam, and it's just going to show whatever I've got pulled up on my computer screen. Or can even do cam only, which is just going to record the webcam feed and nothing that's on my screen. For most screencasts, you're going to want to do either the screen only or the screen and cam. If you don't want to have yourself on the webcam, or you don't feel like it's going to be a useful part of your instructional process, you can just turn it off and have the screen only there. But sometimes it does help to have the cam on so that you have that more personal interaction with your students. They can see you, they know that it's you, you've created this material for them. They might respond to it a little better. Under that, we have the microphone audio. This is a radial button, like a light switch. It's either on or off. You definitely want to have that on so that your students can hear you talking. Once everything's ready to go, all you do is right here, you click Start Recording. And then it will ask you, again, your laptop or your Chromebook will ask you what is it exactly that you want to share in the screencast. So you've got 2 options. It's your entire screen or a specific application window. Once you've decided on a window that you like or a view that you want to share in your screencast, you'll select it with your mouse and then click Share. Then you'll see this countdown here, and then once it's gone away, you can see that it is recording. I can also see this notification down here that Loom is sharing my window to the screen recording software. When I'm done, I can stop sharing there just for security, or the best thing that you can do would be to just click here with a check mark to finish your recording. So while all of this is running, you go through your lesson as normal. deliver the content that you want to say. If you're reading something, you can read, I can say, this paragraph here is really important because X, Y, and Z. Or if you wanted to switch to maybe a different page and you wanted to do a little bit of drawing, or to point or highlight, do some, like regular whiteboard or chalkboard work, you can absolutely do that. It will record everything. But then once you've delivered your lesson, delivered your instruction, you just come down here, click the Finish Recording button, and then that will take you to Loom's video editing page here. You can see that the video is already done, it's processed, and I have a copy link here. All I do is I can copy this link, and then I can post that link to Google Classroom, Schoology, send it in an email, however you want to share that with your students. But as soon as this is done, and as soon as you have that link available to you, you can send it out and share it with whoever needs to look at it. You may need to do some editing to your video if maybe you misspoke at part of the video, or if there's a long period of silence that you wanted to trim or cut out. You can absolutely do that with this tool. Down here in the bottom right, you see the edit your video icons. There's 4 different things here. You have settings, which is going to allow you to turn on and off different features of the video. If you want your students to be able to leave comments or ask questions about the video, you can leave this on. If it gets a little distracting, you can definitely turn it off. Then you wanted to be notified by email that a student has left a comment, you can certainly do so. And if that's a little too frequent or maybe annoying to you, you can absolutely turn it off as well. You can turn on and off emoji reactions, that's these guys here. And then there's a couple other options down here as well. I think the only other one that I would probably look at is whether you wanted to use the Loom branded player. That's just whether or not the Loom logo will be there. If it's a distraction, you can turn it off. And then of course you have the option to allow the viewer to download your video if you want to provide it to students who may not have a consistent internet connection. You might give them the option to download it and save it to their Google Drives in their Chromebook. And then you also have the option to show the analytics to your video that would allow your students to see and you also have the option to show the analytics to the viewer to allow them to see how many other people have viewed the video and things like that. Once you're happy with your selections here, just click Save. If you need to edit your video, like I said earlier, if you've made any mistakes or have any long pauses, you can select this button here for trimming. You select that, you'll be able to play your video and then kind of sift through the timeline here, and you'll listen closely to the audio, and when you get to a section of the video that you don't like, you can pause it, and then you can select Start Trimming, and that'll bring up this red guy right here, and there's a Start tab and an End tab. And so all I do is I want to select the portion of the video where it begins the section that I want to cut out, and then I'll drag the other guy here. I'm just clicking and holding with my mouse, and I'm going to drag that to the section of the video that I want to remove. So anything that's highlighted by red here in the timeline will be removed from the video as soon as I click this button. Now, all I have to do is click play to continue on with the video, and if I get to another part that I want to cut out, same thing, I can pause it, click Start Trimming, and then I'm just going to highlight the portion of the video that I want to remove again. Down here at the bottom, you have time markers. So if there's a very specific frame, you can go frame by frame to select the exact frame that you want to begin and end your edited clip. Select Remove. If you've made a mistake and you've removed a little too much, you can click on the red section again, and you can remove trim to add it back into the timeline, or you can edit it to adjust the start and end times of the trimmed clip manually again. You'll notice once you edit, the video will need to load and process again. This usually doesn't take too long depending on the number of edits that you've done. I also want to point out before we close this, down here at the bottom, there's this space here where we can add the link to the pages that we recorded on. This should be here automatically. It's pulled in from the Google Chrome extension, So if you wanted to leave this as a reference point, then students can access that website directly while they're watching your video. It's a pretty nice feature. And you can do this sort of throughout the video. You notice as I move through the timeline, the mile marker here, or the timestamp here for the video changes. So if I'm on this web page, I want to make sure that that's the right link for that page, and then I can click post and tag it to that point of the video. And you see it's on the timeline now as a little green dot. You can also use this to write comments and attach them to the timestamp in the video as well. So if you wanted to use this to ask questions here, or maybe put a link to your Google Classroom assignment or document for students to write back to you, or leave notes and answer a question, you absolutely can do that here as well. You just type whatever you want, line it up with the right timestamp, and click post. Again, once you're all set, all you have to do is use the copy link that's up here that's easily available for you. You share that link with whoever needs access to the video to get them here to watch your instruction. You do have some privacy settings here. I'd generally recommend that you leave this with link sharing. Once it's public, anyone can search for the video and find it online. That's acceptable if that's how you want to go about doing that, but if you're just providing videos to your students, link sharing should be just fine. You also have a couple of extra options down here at the bottom under the video. You can download it if you need to. You can duplicate it if you wanted to make a copy with some different edits. You can of course delete it, and then you've got some different share settings here. I usually like to test the video by grabbing the copy link and then maybe in another browser I will paste the link there, just to make sure that it all came out the right way, and then all of my edits were saved and published correctly. I can see all my notes here that I left to myself. It just helps me really see what the students are seeing, just so, and if there's any final changes that need to be made, I can do that before I send it out. So it's a quick video that covers the base uses of Loom. I hope that helps get you started with screencasting for your instructional endeavors.